So it's the FIFA 2026 World Cup, and I'm going to do a reaction to one of my favorite YouTubers. These two guys are hilarious. Shout out to Aban Preach, and this video is called "The World." This World Cup is proving there isn't a talent gap, but an investment gap. So seems pretty interesting the topic, and without any further ado, if you guys are here for the first time, hit that like button, share the video, and join my channel. Really appreciate it. And let's get into it right away. Ciao.
Don't give a this year, we are seeing so many of the bottom tier teams making it to the group stage and further than they ever have before. Really been actually enjoying it from watching it from home, despite all the craziness with the prices and the.
That's true, actually. This year there have been a lot of. This year there were 48 teams, the first time in a World Cup. Usually it's 32. They've included some more teams and made it 48, and a lot of new teams coming up and qualifying, in fact, for the round of 32 and so on. Makes sense.
Agreed. What's happening in football, for those of you in America, soccer, is that the disparity between the top end teams and the bottom end teams is disappearing. That doesn't mean that they're not still better teams, but it's shrinking. And this is not necessarily about sports. What it is really telling is how investment and development start to equal the playing field between the have-nots and the haves. Sometimes a lot of people just take it for granted that the differences between countries or societies is all a matter of something innate. These people are just better. They're whatever it is. And not recognizing that enough resource and development go into places, you can watch them flourish and erase a lot of that gap. And so why this World Cup's exciting? I actually believe that within the next few iterations, we may see a champion of the World Cup from Africa. We might see a champion from Asia, which hasn't been seen for God knows how long, if ever. So a lot.
Actually, I agree with him. I mean, if you want other countries to grow, other players to grow, you need to invest. It's sad that a country like China or like my country, India, we've got the world's biggest population, over 1.4 billion, I think, right now, as of this year, 1.4 billion, and there isn't enough talent. I really doubt it. I mean, we have the talent, we have the manpower. It's just that there's not enough funding going into it. There's no investments, there's no proper funding, there's no proper infrastructure, training, academies to actually build these players. And the ones that are actually going forward, they're playing in international leagues. You have the English Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Serie A, the La Liga. That's why teams like, I would say, Norway, Morocco. Morocco's pretty good. I mean, they're actually pretty good. Morocco, they have players who are playing in PSG, in Man City, and other clubs. Then you have other countries, smaller countries, which are doing pretty well in the World Cup. USA, actually, US is also doing pretty decently. Again, these players have the exposure of playing in international clubs, international leagues. So they take that experience back home and they play for the country and build the country. But India, it's not like that. I mean, I don't think any player, I mean, maybe one player who's playing in an international league. So yeah, you need more exposure for the country to grow. Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut now.
Of players who play in the top leagues. So you're looking at La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga. Those players are now more represented in the bottom tier teams today more than ever. Meaning, like, if you look at the Senegal team, if you look at the Moroccan team, like the amount of players that they have playing in the top leagues whilst representing their country is higher than ever. And that goes to show that people are opting to play for their native country. Why? Because these people oftentimes grew up abroad. They lived in England, they lived in France, they lived in all these places, but they're choosing to play for their parents' origin country or whatever it might be, despite the league that they're playing in. Why is that? It doesn't just come down to like attachment. What's happening now, and what a lot of these bottom tier teams have realized, is that they have to invest and they have to scout from an early age. So a lot of these players are being approached while they're in academies, and they're being approached by these native countries being saying, hey, we'd love for you to play with us. We'll invest in this, we'll do that. And people are choosing over playing for the better teams, quote unquote, to play for their native country. That's one thing that's different. So now it's not just Germany or France or England just monopolizing all the players. Some of them are going back. We're even finding teams like Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde played, I think, Spain to a draw which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Do you understand like the population of Cabo Verde?
500 million people.
Okay, so 500,000 people. 500 million is crazy. Okay. 500,000, and they drew Spain. I think they drew another team in their group. So they really overperformed. The second part of this equation that's really important.
And they also just lost to Argentina just by a single goal. I mean, people were actually expecting Argentina to lose with the Shaman and the Witchman. But yeah, I mean, it's long shot. Argentina is pretty good.
A lot of these other areas have started developing tournaments. They started developing more friendlies. And why is that important? What ended up happening is a lot of African teams and a lot of Asian teams would play friendlies maybe 3 to 4 times in a 4 or 5 year gap, which meant that they had little to no experience on the international stage or getting playing time together. Whereas the European counterparts or the South American counterparts who had developed a lot more had many more tournaments to work on their chemistry, to scout the players, to see whether or not they fit.
America.
Now with AFCON, with a lot of these federations springing up, be it in Morocco, I think Morocco is the best example because they got governmental assistance in a lot of ways. We're seeing these teams flourish on the stage. I think yesterday, Senegal, they were up 2-0 against Belgium.
They lost.
But they were the dominant team for a good majority of that game. And when you see the progress of that, it's like, oh, the Giants are no longer looking unbeatable. It's not just the top tier teams versus farmers. We're actually seeing parity. Actually incredibly entertaining because you don't know what's going to happen on any given day. There's no more blowouts like there used to be. The 7-0s of the farmer teams or whatever. That stuff is being weeded out. And we're seeing highly competitive games between Japan and Brazil. A 1-1 draw that ends up in a 2-1 for Brazil at the last. But you didn't know who's going to win.
No, that's crazy.
And I get excitement over this because it just really goes to show you that it doesn't matter what aspect of life it is, even though we think these people are inferior or whatever it is. And I know a lot of you don't think that, but I think it's always good to have reminders. Like, if you invest enough, if you develop things properly, there's a chance for a lot of these people to capitalize on the resources and talent that they have that is just going to
Japan. I mean, Japan is one of the best Asian football teams there is. I mean, you've obviously got Qatar, which is decent. You've got Jordan. I don't think that's Asian. Yeah, Asian. Jordan, Qatar. But Japan is one of the best Asian, and they have consistently been qualifying for the World Cup. At least for the last 4 to 5 World Cups they have been qualifying. Japan, a small country. I mean, those guys are into anime, they're into cartoons, they're into everything but you would assume football or soccer. But these guys are qualifying every World Cup, at least for the last 3-4 World Cups, with a small population. And India, China, countries with huge populations, big GDP, aren't able to churn out 11 or 12 good players. It's not true. I mean, we have players. It's just that it's the infrastructure, the investment, that's not happening. People want to focus, in India at least, more on cricket. Cricket is a sport of India. So if you play cricket, you earn a lot of money, you get sponsorships, you get deals. But whereas if you play football, no one really approaches you for any deals or any collaboration. So that's the hard reality of it. All right, I'll keep my mouth shut again. I'm sorry.
It's a more of a representation of who is playing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I used to see back in the days, like when I was watching it, for example, 94,
Italy.
right? It was Italy, it was Brazil, it was Germany. France was not even really that bad, but it was those teams, right? And now I really see the world. I really see the world who actually plays it. Haiti was in there. They were not able to dispute one match in their country. They lost all their matches. They were there. Let's be honest. Haiti was not even supposed to be there.
Didn't they score their first World Cup goal in history?
Football is not just Argentina, Brazil, Italy, Belgium, Spain. Yeah. It's not. There's much more people that play the sports. Canada is in the knockout rounds.
Canada being in the knockout rounds is not crazy.
No, it's not.
And the reason why it's not crazy is there's been a lot of investments in the youth leagues. If you think about Alphonso Davies, who plays for, I believe, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Top tier back, right? And he plays at an exceptionally high level. Now, obviously, he's been injured, but there's been development of other players, either through the MLS league or some of them playing abroad. And so they've had that time. Even the United States, how long were they the laughingstock of the world when when it came to football.
100%.
Everybody was just like, they're a joke of a team.
Yeah.
And this year, they're actually playing good football. I bet they haven't played the top tier comp, but they still play at a fairly high level. And there could be a time with enough investment, enough youth excitement, enough talent being bridged into this that they could reach the top levels that even the Europeans play at. I mean, there's been a lot of cool moments. I think didn't the USA just beat Bosnia during the top 16? Bosnia eliminated Italy.
That's crazy.
Italy complained saying that Africa has too many teams going through to the World Cup. Italy gets clapped by Bosnia, and then Bosnia gets clapped by the USA. I will say Italy's a fucking embarrassment, okay? And this is their karma for what they did to Zinedine Zidane in that World Cup final. I've hated them ever since, okay?
100%.
Like Italy, the country, hate the fucking team, all right?
Sorry, Italian.
I think it's just important, if there's any takeaway for this for people who don't really care about sports, is that human potential is oftentimes wasted. We just don't put in the chances for them to actually be able to grow. And the countries that do see the results. Look at Croatia. Croatia is one of the top footballing countries in the world. Small ass population, they have Hall of Famers everywhere. 100%. But the reason why is that their youth academies, everything involved is top tier. So they're competing against the best teams in Europe, playing amazing, but it's only because
I would
they
like to give a huge shout out to Luka Modric. I mean, one of the legends of Croatia. And just recently, a couple of days back, they lost to Portugal. I think 2-1. It was 2-1. It was highly controversial last goal, which was scored by Croatia to draw the game, but it was considered offside. Again, I mean, I being a Portugal fan, I would still say that that was a goal. I mean, VAR came in and said that the ball had touched the Croatian player's head and it went to the other player, so it was offside, but it didn't really look like an offside. I mean, again, that's something controversial, but again, Croatia's a really, really small country, and for them to bring out players like Modric, who's been an iconic legend of football, played for Tottenham, played for Real Madrid, and he's been there for many, many years. And this was also his last World Cup, so he won't be playing next time, along with Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah, I mean, Croatia is one of the best examples that this guy gave.
So, yeah, I don't know. To me, there's something really uplifting about that.
Yeah, Cabo Verde is not supposed to be there.
Insane goalkeeper.
But they are.
Yeah.
And they doing their thing. So whenever I see people and I hear people talking about, we're not, it's just sports, we should invest in that. You see the pride, you see the amount, you see what is brought back to the country. You see how you're able to give something to the youth to look for. There's a lot of plus into investing in those sports. There's a lot of plus investing in the youth that having prospects to be able to have a chance to go on a worldwide stage. So it's been, even after the backlash and everything that happened with the World Cup, it's been very interesting to see.
Yeah.
So, legit, other World Cups, you at this stage, you could kind of say or have your pinpoints of who could win. Now, I don't know.
I mean, France are favorites.
Yes,
them and Argentina are like two of the big favorites.
But then again, I know there could be an upset. There could definitely be an upset.
Oh, Abba knows ball. I know ball. I watch. All right, I watch a lot of the top leagues. Hey, boy. Now, listen, I used to live in Ethiopia. If you don't watch football over there, you're a bit of a fucking weirdo.
So I guess, what Abwin Preach was saying hit the nail on its head. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there, which is not being fully utilized, fully brought to its potential, I could call it. And it's basically an investment issue, because there is talent. You have players from Africa, players from Asia who play really, really well, but they haven't yet been seen. They haven't yet been scouted. They haven't yet been recruited to a club in Europe, maybe somewhere in Germany, in Spain, England, even if it's not the top tier league, like the English Premier League or the Bundesliga, at least a B grade tier or a C grade tier where they start to at least climb the ladder. But so as long as there is some exposure, some investment from the country itself going to the players, going to the infrastructure, the academies, the training grounds, the fans supporting it, media help, PR, that plays a huge role. I mean, this World Cup, if it's a success, it will be because of the PR and marketing which the US has done. Trump has done a great job, apparently, with the PR and the marketing that's been built up for the World Cup. YouTube is also promoting FIFA. content on YouTube to try to get more people to watch it. And yeah, I mean, as if you have the entire media, PR people behind you, then definitely the sport will grow in your country. So, I mean, this is my take. And if you guys like the video, smash that like button, share the video. And if you're here for the first time, come and join my channel. I'll do much more reactions and stay in touch. There's more coming up very, very soon. Till then, ciao.